To spool the turbos up. Jonathan Cox is fully working then. DRS open on the Alpha Tauri. Goes down the inside there. Harrison trying to hold him off, but it might be better off just sitting in the slipstream. And there we go. Jonathan Cox is up into second place. For how much longer though? Because Andenge has got past the Mercedes of Harrison. Not able to get past Jonathan Cox. And the Mercedes of Harrison loses 2 places there in the space of 2 corners. And Andenge is now up into 3rd place. Still a good race for the Mercedes in 1st and 4th as Harrison kicks up a lot of dust there. And Alpha Tauri as well. They're currently 2nd and 5th, and I don't think it'll be long before they're 2nd and 4th. Harrison seems to be struggling now. And there we go. Cruxy up into 4th place. There we go. Total P's has gone then at this point in the race. NUF1. Jonathan Cox just swapping around, but he's not got an ideal start actually, Total P's. And Andenge is alongside him, Cruxy as well. We're going to be 3 wide into turn 1 here, and the Williams has got himself ahead. So Total P's will he be able to fight back? Andenge just went slightly deep there, he's compromised his line. Total P's is going to try and just tuck underneath the Williams. He's going to have to go the long way round here into turn 4. Not able to do so. Trying to hang it off round the outside, and we might see Cruxy trying to have a move back. So Andenge in the lead of this race. Total P 2nd. Cruxy stays in 3rd. Paulie Orange has already dropped 2 places behind Energetic 6 and Fatality. He's now got Jonathan Cox all over the back of him as well, as Total P's trying to go round the outside at turn 8. That gives him the inside for 9 and 10. Surely he's going to have to give that place up, and he does just wait for now. Gives Andenge 1 tap, 2 taps. Not sure the Williams will be too happy about that though. He's got the ERS fully active, and Andenge is going to be able to hold off to this position. Squeezes Total P's. This is getting a bit rough and ready between these two at this moment. Smitsky picks up a penalty. These two need to watch out because they're only 1 warning away from a penalty themselves. Cruxy has a few. Energetic 6 and Fatality have kept it pretty clean though. Andenge going defensive very early on. Total P's wants to wait. He wants to have that slipstream, but he will have no DRS obviously this time around. So it is still very close. Further back, what battles has we got? Jonathan Cox has got ahead of Paulie Orange as Energetic 6 making his way past Cruxy to get the Renault up onto the podium places. And Andenge and Total P still battling. And Andenge just left the door open there for Total P's, who says thank you very much. So that is Total P's back into the lead of this race then on lap 24. But Andenge had got that covered off, but it just seemed to open up the gap at the last minute. Cruxy trying to now fight with Fatality. We've got Mars attacking into the pits. I wonder if he's been involved in an incident. Energetic 6 has gone wide then through turn 4. They're side by side of Cruxy and Energetic. 1 hand off the wheel for Cruxy's driver, who's clearly not happy with that bit of driving. Cruxy stays ahead for now. Fatality sends one up the inside. Taps into Cruxy. Did just about get away with it. Wheel spin from all of them on the exit of the corner, and that allows Jonathan Cox through. He's up into 5th place. He's up into 4th place. But a split second there. Around the outside though, you're just going to get shoved onto the curb out of turn 10. That allows Fatality to have a go back, and Paulie Orange watching all this going on in 7th position. He was 4th, let's not forget, before the restart. With some of this driving we're seeing up ahead, he might still work his way up the field because he's kept it very clean. Indeed, as NUF1 and Treminator, who must definitely be on fresh soft tyres despite what the timing screen says. Otherwise I think they'd have exploded on the Red Bull at this moment. 5 laps to go at the end of this one then. DRS will be active. First time they'll be able to use it is on the straights between turn 3 and 4, and you can see the grip. Paulie Orange just doesn't have it at this moment in time. NUF1 going to try the drag on the straight here, and Treminator's got the slipstream though on. He might be able to have a dive down the inside of the McLaren here. He's got past the McLaren. Is he going to get past the Haas as well? Ooh, I didn't think that was going to work. Bit of contact on the exit of the corner. I don't think Orange will be too pleased with that. Slight tap again as well. And in the end, Treminator's now having to defend from NUF1, who actually had the only one of those without DRS at that point in the race, and it all just calms down. Energetics up to 4th, then Fatality 5th, Jonathan Cox 6th, Paulie Orange still somehow 7th, Treminator and NUF1 still battling side by side. I wouldn't expect the McLaren to try that. Finds himself on the sand, not a lot of grip there, and Gods might even try and get himself involved in this. Gods looking to get Alfa Romeo's first points of the season. And quite spaced out already, maybe the race of 3rd or 4th. Paulie Orange right on the back of Jonathan Cox has gone very wide into turn 22 there, but not really able to overtake unless you get alongside it. Jonathan Cox just tapping the wall ever so slightly, getting away without damaging his car. You can see Paulie Orange trying to go down the inside into turn 1. You've got Breadstick there as well. Frog Lover gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. It's been a disastrous race so far for the Racing Point driver. Breadstick there managing to get ahead of Paulie Orange, so he's been driving fantastically so far. We do have a bit of ghosting, so hopefully that will fix itself. But out in front, as the order completely changes itself, it is still Total P's at the moment, looking nice and calm at the front. Reminder, you need to be within a second of the car in front at the DRS point. First time they'll be able to use DRS is on the run from 6 and 7, so on the other side of this straight, but there are quite big gaps at the front of the field. You can see Breadsticks now managed to get ahead of Jonathan Cox, who's finding himself having to bend from Paulie Orange, but Jonathan Cox has got fantastic straight line speed. We could be nearly 3 wide here down the straight. Breadstick on the outside. Jonathan Cox has just managed to get ahead. Paulie Orange trying to follow through as well. Breadstick on the... Ooh, Paulie Orange there, I lost it there. I was about to say Breadstick on the soft tyre, so you'd expect him to be quicker over in the next couple of laps for second place. Breadstick getting ahead of Andenge. These guys are actually caught up ever so slightly under the VSC. It is possible to do that if you just time it right. And Paulie Orange is now behind Andenge as well. So maybe we could even get a Haas 1-2 here. We've got both Williams on the podium, but a Haas 1-2. Williams 3-4 looks a big possibility as Total P's has managed to catch back up to Jonathan Cox and Fatality. I'm not sure quite what's happened there. Fatality on the outside of Jonathan Cox. This gap surely is going to close, but I wonder again if there was any catching up under VSC there underneath the rules. But Total Peace has managed to jump up into 5th place. Great driving from the championship leader to do that, and now Jonathan Cox got to get past
well, it's Harrison, because he's got Energetic 6 all over his back end. The Silver Arrows, the Mercedes in all sorts of trouble right now. The yellow Renault all over, creeping and a peeping on the inside of the Silver Arrows. The Renault clinging on for all he's worth. Energetic 6, we've got a movement at the back end to F1. Forfeits P15 to FTH KRC, as though we're seeing Energetic 6 dashing down the inside there of the Silver Arrows. Can he hold on going into the hairpin bend? Harrison in all sorts of trouble, braking just to the Rolex banner. Here comes Phil. Energetic 6 moves into P11. Here comes the Haas. They're going in tandem, but still Harrison hangs on going around the final bend, yet they still challenge toe to toe going down the straight, heading into lap 4, and still Harrison, even with the DRS, in all sorts of trouble. They're going 3 wide into turn 1, and the Haas is coming into play ball, and as you can see, Phil is in all sorts of trouble, but still manages to hold on. Phenomenal racing down that stretch. Well, at the moment now, they're just making their way around the swinging right-hander before the main straight now, and you can now see that further up Noble is ganging up on the back of Energetic 6. Now, will there be team orders at stake here now? But you can see that Energetic 6 has got the DRS now on Crooksy, heading down towards that hairpin bend, and the Racing Point might have his comeuppance here. No switchback available because he hugs the inside of the Renault. You can see there Noble hugging right to the back of his teammate now as they head round towards the final corner. Once again, Crooksy survives. What a display of defending once again for the Racing Point. He has been superb as Owen Hall moves up into P7. A cluster of cars there in the middle of the pack, as you can now see them moving up behind the Ferrari, in behind Harrison, gunning down on the prancing horse now going through turn 1, but he can't make a move count just quite yet. Amazing display here so far. The delta times separated by none other than a fly's eyelash. Has got fresher tyres on. Don't forget though, Andenge is in behind these two, just waiting for it all to unfold. He might have a chance of sniffing through on the inside against one of these guys. Certainly we could be in for a 3-wide battle here on the outset of the first few bends now, as you can now see Owen Hall getting right close and personal to the back end of that Renault now, and certainly it's going to be tasty. This battle is going to be the focus here of lap 15, as we now see the prancing horse of the Ferrari ganging up all over the Renault now. Energetic 6 is going to do all he can to defend, but he's left the door wide open. Here comes the Ferrari, the prancing horse moving on the outside, and certainly Owen Hall is now going to give him a bit of a hard time as they're around the next left-hander. They've got a semi-straight round the next right, and certainly it's going to be a test of strength here as they're now round the next left. It's all to play for. Yellow flags in sector 2. Here comes the Williams of Andenge. Who's going to benefit here of this 3-way battle as they come towards the next left-hander before Spoon? You can see there the Renault still trying to defend the position. The Ferrari's going to lose this time, I think, unless he can hang on, and he certainly can. Owen Hall rounding the corner now, holding on to P2. He's got him. He's got him. Energetic 6 down to P3. What a move by Owen Hall.
Yeah, and Denj almost had the perfect run there. He actually went that quick himself that he just nudged the back of Energetic, but the speed he's coming down on these two, looking to go for the inside and go for a double overtake. This could be incredible. Late on the brakes, and what a move from Denj that is. Two guys, one corner. Incredible stuff.
Incredible move there by Andenge to sweep off Owen All and Energetic 6 at the end of lap 16, moving into lap 16 as Jonathan Cox has led them through, but he's going to be in danger anyway because here comes Owen All. He has the DRS. He's going to be punching through here at round turn 1. Can he hold on though? No, I think Andenge has the advantage. He's got the better traction. Can the Ferrari? No, he can't make the move. He cannot make it stick. Andenge still holds on to P2. Great defending by the Williams.
Not looking particularly close at the moment, but the grip of those tyres will come in off the banking. The DRS will come in. The Ferrari's got no ERS to really defend with, and there we go. Jonathan Cox trying to go down the inside there into turn 1. He gets that position. He is up into 3rd place. The next man for the Ferrari to deal with will be the McLaren of NUF1, and this queue of cars fatality. Trying to go all the way around the outside of Aylhan, recovering from an earlier mistake. He could have had a chance at the podium. He's managed to make it stick. They're still side by side. Aylhan has to yield. Great driving from the two of them, giving each other racing room. That is fatality up into 7th position for now.
And we are going, so we are away. It's Total P's. Has Total P's had an issue? Total P's had an issue. He spun. P's spun off a restart, so that means Jonathan Cox in P2. And your bet is Aylhan up into P3 as we got Energetics now. And God's going at it. Will Energetics try and send one up the inside on those hard tyres? No, he won't. Gods will hold position. Total P's has given it the total bottle. Which is not what he... I am so sorry, P's. You'll probably hate me after that one, but it had to be said. As Brandon and Denj, this is all getting very tight, and Denj looking very racy on the mediums, now going up the inside of Smitsky. Gives him the room, but Brandon going up there as well. Oh, a little bit of argy-bargy from Brandon showing in the rear wheel. But Andenge now on the back of Gods as Energetics. He's now close to Mars as Liam picks up a penalty. Busy restart. Hang on, sorry Droft, I'm going to have to interrupt you again, mate, as Mars is going up the inside of Art Vanderlei, and Energetics is having a little look as well, but Vanderlei still keeps it solid. Sorry, Droft, back to you, mate.
No, mate, very tight. Polly Orange just making the move up to 13. P's following through as well. So F2H, guessing them wide, I had a problem there because both drivers got through. The lap was set for the fastest start. It's interesting that he did lose it. Last week he was leading the safety car away 3 or 4 times, so obviously wasn't going slow enough for him.
Definitely not. But Energetics and Art Vanderlei getting very tight into turn 1. Vanderlei going down the inside. Energetics will have the inside and picks up a penalty for his troubles, but keeps the position. As Paulie Orange, I don't know what's happened here, but he's dropped a couple of places.
Yeah, he just ahead of P's last a little bit. He's then just moved up to 11th position past the Nolan. But Orange has dropped down 4 or 5 positions towards the back end of that lap, so I can only assume he got it all wrong somewhere.
Brandon is getting up the inside of Gods and looked for a move up the inside of Art Vanderlei, but the exit here, Brandon loses control of the car, which then means P's now going on Gods. This is a very hectic race so far. As Paulie now getting... Oh, sends shivers down your spines. P's with a fantastic exit out of the chicane. Now all over the back of Art Vanderlei as we have a yellow flag, sorry, not a safety car. And I believe, hang on, look at Brandon. Brandon comes sneaking through on P's and Art Vanderlei. What a move from Brandon, but P's not having any of it, and P's gets back through past Brandon. Fantastic racing so far from these guys. Is he going to try and go around the outside? He made a move on Andenge a lap before. Jonathan Cox late on the brakes. Shows Paulie Orange the wheel, but here comes Orange. He's got a bit more overtake and the DRS. But Andenge is coming with... And we go 3 wide?
Three wide into turn 3. Who's going to come out ahead? Jonathan Cox just ahead, but you can see how much the rest of the field is starting to catch up to him now. Again, who's got the DRS here? Paulie Orange has it. Can he go all the way around the outside of Jonathan Cox? He's ahead before the braking zone. The Haas takes the lead of the race, and Denge trying to get involved in this as well. It's a miracle no one broke their front wing there. I think Denge did give a little tap to Jonathan Cox, who's now going down the inside into turn 6. Can't get the move done. All of a sudden, Total Peas is within a second of these guys, just picks up a 3-second time penalty, and he's dragged Aylhan and Gelato. So we've got a 6-car DRS train at the front of this race. This is going to be absolutely fantastic. Who's going to be the first one to blink for the pits? I don't think it's going to be for a few laps just yet. You can see how much ERS Paulie Orange has used trying to get away, as him and Jonathan both pick up penalties there. Might just calm down a tiny bit all of a sudden now. We'll have to wait and see, because whoever's in third place, and Denge, can't really afford to go for a risky move, because now he's got Total Peas, Aylhan and Gelato all over the back of him, and Gelato's now looking for a move on the Haas of Aylhan down the inside into turn 3. And that looks like a fairly straightforward manoeuvre for the Renault driver. He'll just shove Aylhan ever so slightly wide, take the race in line. That is Gelato up into 5th place, and he gets the DRS as well.
Oh, here comes Andenjo looking down the inside of turn 4. Who can get the better traction? I think it could be Andenjo here. It does, he makes the move stick. So Jonathan Cox now has been demoted down to P3. Next in line, Total Peace have a go at that Alpha Tauri. You pointed out Aylhan down into P6. Bit of a gap now to Energetic, so nothing to worry about for a little bit. But Paulie Orange is looking very good in the early stages of this Grand Prix. Jonathan Cox, but Andenge fast into turn 4. Andenge obviously 6/10 off. Jonathan Cox is close now. 3/10 is the gap going into turn 1. And now as we go up to turn 2 and 3. Andenge obviously has a DRS just to make sure it isn't so straightforward for Jonathan Cox. But will Total Peas have a look on Jonathan Cox? Try and go up the inside late on the brakes. That is very late on the brakes from Jonathan Cox. And then picks up a 3-second time penalty. But here comes Total Peas from P14, looking to get up into P2, round the outside at turn 4. He doesn't quite make it stick. Or does he? He gets a better exit with the traction. Total Peas now has the inside. And I think he gets the move done. Total Peas up to P2.
Fantastic move from Total Peas, taking full opportunity there of Jonathan Cox and Andenge battling. You've got Gelato all over the back of these guys as well. That's allowed Paulie Orange to get a lead of above a second. That could be crucial as we get into the latter stages of this stint. A look at that, 11 places gained for Gelato, 12 gained for Total Peas. These guys both showed pace, we just didn't get to see it in qualifying, and there we go, Gelato now up into 4th place. I just wonder if Jonathan Cox has gone for a strategy where he's got a bit less downforce on his car, and that is starting to ruin his tyres, because we could have another 3-wide situation here. We've got the Renault on the outside, the Williams on the inside, the Alpha Tauri in the middle, and then just down the inside of all of them, he's up into 3rd place. Jonathan Cox just holding on to 4th, but again, they're going to be battling like crazy coming down the straight towards turn 4. Jonathan Cox now has the inside line. Can he retake that podium position off of Andenge? He's just about done it. Gelato might try and get a cut back there. Has to be careful not to avoid losing his front wing. Andenge is still there on the inside through turn 6, and I think the Williams is just about going to stay ahead, although fair play to Gelato. He's trying to go all the way around the outside. Is he going to manage to stay there through 7 to get the inside line for 8 and turn 9? They're still side by side. It's Mansell and Senna from Barcelona 91 all over again, and somehow Gelato has ended up ahead out of all that. That's now allowed Jonathan Cox to escape ever so slightly. It seems like NUF1 and KRC are battling a bit more now. I think those mediums are starting to come into their own for the Red Bull. Noble managing to get himself into the points as well. But now, all that battling, Paulie Orange 1.5 seconds ahead of Total Peas, who is 1.5 seconds ahead of Jonathan Cox.
Unbelievable racing there from Gelato and Denge to go, about 5 corners, side by side. Absolutely great. Well, total respect to both of those guys in unbelievable racecraft, just to make sure that nobody goes off, as Gelato now starting to stalk Jonathan Cox to NUF1, going on the run up to turn 2 and 3. But KRC is all over the back of Brandon, so you might find KRC, if he can be later on the brakes, Might just be able to get a move done into turn 3. Is he feeling brave enough? No, he's just going to close up for the time being. It's all about the exit now. On the run down to turn 4 as he goes under the Rolex banner. In red is actually just past Lost Souls, but going back to KRC and Brandon and NUF1 straight up the inside. Later on the brakes, can't even get back up and underneath him. I don't think he can. I think Brandon might be safe, but Aylhan is going for it. He's going to go round the outside. I think he's holding on. He has just held on to P4, but KRC obviously will be back involved in this now.
Yeah, and obviously this is dropping them further back from Gelato. He's now nearly 2 seconds ahead of these, so NUF1 tried it. Needs to give it another go. Total P's picking up a penalty. He's pushing hard to just stay within that DRS range of Andenge at the moment. He's just about doing that. Gelato slightly off the back of these guys, maybe just biding his time as well. NUF1 closing up ever more into turn 1, not able to get the move done. Bit of a slide on exit as well in the dirty air of the car in front, and that is a much bigger factor on this game. And Aylhan's about to get swamped from both sides. The McLaren round the outside, the Red Bull down the inside. Does NUF1 realise that KRC is there? I think he does. They've both gone ever so slightly wide. Aylhan's going to try and get underneath the pair of them. NUF1 up into 4th place. It might be a very short held hold on that 4th position. KRC has the DRS and he now moves up, so he gains 2 places in that move. Aylhan loses 2. NUF1 stays in the same position, but it's definitely cost these guys that.
Realised that before I said it, but KRC and Gelato are hounding the back of Total P's as Energetics and going up the inside of Souls. I think he's gotten the move done, but Souls will have the DRS going down into turn 4 now, and Souls has moved out of the slipstream round the outside, and he's got Ole on the inside, and Energetics just backs out and just doesn't quite get the exit. So Energetics down 2 places from 4th to 6th, and Ole up into 5th, Souls up into 4th, but they are 8 seconds off.
Corners to manoeuvre, get penalties. Meanwhile, Andreas here, one of the drivers that started at the back. He's on the back of FTH, he's on the mediums. Will he get past him? He's right on the back of him here. And he goes to the inside. Has he got the move done? Did FTH react to that? And that is a fantastic move there by Andreas, as Lost Souls gets another penalty. Literally took him by surprise. FTH did not see that one coming, but he'll have DRS, I believe. As has got his teammate behind him, so there might be a bit of multi-21 here. Some team orders. Jonathan has got Ola to catch up to, but again, they might fight it, which is fair enough. Everyone's got a right to battle. Meanwhile, Energetics on the back of Terminator. Again, I think this will be another sitting duck move, although in saying that, Terminator's showing some good straight line speed, but in saying that, into the Michelin chicane we've got Lost Souls as well. Going to the inside, that's not going to end well. We're 3 wide into the chicane. Fantastic racing. Lost Souls has to go off onto the tarmac as he decides to explore some of what Paul got us to offer. And whatever's happening here, so yeah, he's going to go around the outside of Energetic. They're side by side. Oh, this is fantastic racing to see. They're giving each other just enough room. Energetics getting his elbows out. Lost Souls, he's not giving up this one. Into the next complex of corners as we've got Paulie Orange there getting involved in the battle as well. Energetics does not want to be hauled up on these medium tyres. And Lost Souls there. We've got, what a great battle that was. Fantastic to see. Evil Hunter leads the Grand Prix, yet to pit, so is FTH. But what a battle that was. Meanwhile, we've got the Renault of Gelato getting past Terminator. We've got Paulie Orange and Energetic side by side. Into turn 1 we go. Lost Souls, I think, has got the job done. Energetics will shut the door. Paulie Orange is side by side. Oh, this is fantastic racing between the two here. The Haas and the Renault. Renault, we want to impress her. The bosses here, it's the French Grand Prix. The 9th and 10th currently. And Gelato is going to get involved in the battle as well as he locks up. They're still side by side. Gelato will get involved as well. And now the Renaults are going to be side by side. Energetics loses it nearly. Has he given his teammate weak damage? They're side by side. Onto the Michelin straight. He gets a 3-second time penalty for that. And Energetics nearly got into a lot of problems there.
To overtake, you go too wide at any point in this track. And it could end up in disaster. Meanwhile, let's talk about the Red Bull then, shall we, as FTH goes to the outside, but Droftahs actually goes through. I know he actually goes to the outside, the 3 wide, and Droftahs hits the back even more, so we're not giving wing damage. and Immortal now side by side, but FTH is through there. I'm not sure what was going on, I must have got confused. Droftahs to the outside of his teammate, the black armors Mercedes, the beautiful livery. The side by side, can Droftahs get the move done? They're still side by side. Immortal's not giving this up here. Civil war between the Mercedes. As the Immortal gets a time penalty and Droftahs gets the move done, and now Jonathan Cox will have a look. Oh no, and he's sent Immortal to the spin. But luckily enough, there was nothing to it. And he's able to carry on. Jonathan goes to the move. Ooh, very, very, very touchy there. Not the correct word. Close call there, though. Definitely Jonathan going for a move in place, perhaps where he could have been more patient. And if that's giving him wing damage, that might affect his race, but it doesn't look like it. However, though, that's you got to be patient, Jono, mate. You got to be patient. And Paul Jones gets a good restart. Meanwhile, Jonathan and Galato into turn 1 then, and Galato goes to the outside. But Andreas will get involved. Can he get the move done? What a move there by Galato. What a fantastic outside move, as I might have a voice crack. And Jonathan can't respond. And now Andreas to the inside. On those softer tyres, has he got the move done? To the outside, yes he has. And now Galato is all over the back of Paulie Orange. So maybe it wasn't a very good strategical call there by the half. Maybe it won't work out after all. 7 laps to go then. So very happy that I did, well, very lucky that I did come off the pause menu. So keeping the penalties in mind. At the moment, Galato was in a very nice position compared to Paul Owen. With the penalties, plus those, all the hard tyres. Look at this, Galato already pushing. Andreas not too far behind. Look at this, though. The Renault is so close behind that Haas. He's practically kissing the rear wing as Andreas brakes very late there. But Jonathan's also involved in the battle as well, as he brakes very much later. And there's already a gap between Droftahs and the nearest car of Terminator, with Aylhan 4 tenths behind him. So again, they're on relatively fresh mediums and they've had time to warm the tyres up again, so they're maybe not in too much of a bad position. But again, Terminator, fantastic drive here. Again, first points for the first time in a while, so it's good to see Mr. Consistent as Paulie Orange and Andreas. No, it is Galato, and Paulie Orange has conceded the lead to Galato. So JT Galato has taken the lead of the Hungarian Grand Prix there. Andreas not too far behind the Haas driver. As this is turning into a very exciting last few laps then, what is in store? There's Galato, Orange, Andreas, Jonathan, and Droftahs not too far behind as well. Now Andreas will want to get the move done so he can stay with Galato. Into the chicane we go, brakes so much later than Orange. Oh, I thought he was going to go into the back of him. He's just got so much more confidence with the car. Jonathan, meanwhile, still staying with Andreas, so it shows he's got the pace even on the harder tyres. Perhaps he should have gone for the soft, but again, if you don't feel confident with the tyre situation, mediums is the best bet. It's a safe option again. If he can stay out of trouble, it might be in a good position at the end of the race if everyone's all still closed up together. But that gap is getting bigger between Droftahs and Terminator, so in terms of penalties, the worst he could probably do might be 5th at the moment. But again, anything can change in these last few laps, but there was definitely 2 trains between the top 5 and then the rest of the grid, and including the Ghost of Lost Souls, but we'll have to ignore that. Meanwhile, Andreas then on the back of Paulie Orange into turn 1. Andreas goes to the outside of Paulie Orange. Will he give him the move? He does. This fantastic racing, and Andreas is through them with 5 laps to go. Can he catch up on the Renault? He shuts the door, gets the job done. Fantastic job there. And now Droftahs is past Jonathan as well. So Jonathan is really struggling on those medium tyres. So he was second at the restart. He's now down to 5th. So I wouldn't even say down to the tyres because Droftahs have taken it and Paulie. We'll go back to the battle then with Andreas and Energetic. Andreas having some difficult races as of late, and this is not good for his championship at all because Jonathan's in a fantastic position. Yeah, a lot of the drivers are struggling. Look at this, to the inside. And no, he hasn't, because Andreas will actually keep the position. And just he didn't get good enough of a run, and he'll lift off and think better of it. Is he going to go for the switchback? He will do. Tries to get a better run, try and get a better straight line exit, or better straight foothold there, or whatever the word is. I'm not sure what's going on. Basically, just trying to get a better exit into the source then. Very close, very, very, very close at the moment. Bit of a slide, Andreas runs wide, and this will give Energetic an opportunity. Now, I honestly thought for a moment there he was going to do what I thought he was going to do. And this has brought Crooksy into it. And Crooksy out of nowhere is getting involved in this battle. Energetic's got to get this move on Andreas done quickly. He's nearly out of ARS, but he's got to get past him because this is holding him up. And the opportunity of getting some more decent points. Alright, into the braking zone, then we go. Fatalities get the fastest laps. That's a consolidation for a difficult race. One more God Split as well. And look at this, Energetics and Andreas are side by side. Can he get the move on the Renault and the Williams? And look at this as well then. And then Racing Point gets involved. Andreas, oh, so close. But Energetics will keep his nose in front. And they're still side by side. They bang tyres. And look at this, fantastic. They're still wheel to wheel. Crooks will get involved as well. Is Crooks going to go for a move to the inside? And he will do, but he thinks better of it. As I nearly lost my voice doing this. Fantastic racing there between the two. And look at this, Energetics finally got the move done there on the Swedish driver. Andreas left defenceless, but I've got to tell you, that was fantastic to see. Some great racing there between the two. And this is what Aylhan is all about. A great chilled out league with some fantastic driving, some fantastic racing. You know, it's a very chilled out league, but at the same time it's very competitive. So it's good to see that a good race and what this league represents, you know.
Yeah. Jonathan Cox, you can see the queue of cars behind him at the moment. This is where it's advantageous for an undercut for any of these guys. This is where they might think, is it worth going for the undercut? Not yet. Round about lap 8 or 9 I think is when we will see the first pit stops. I'll be surprised if we get any earlier than that. But DRS open on Paulie Orange's car now as he tries to sweep past the AlphaTauri of Jonathan Cox. Goes to the outside. Jonathan trying his best to try and hold on there, but Paulie Orange will have the inside for the next part of the chicane. They've squeezed each other ever so slightly. You know what Jonathan's like. He's gonna give you a car's width and absolutely no more, and it's going to be your challenge to try and fight him. He's running out of ERS though. Paulie Orange inside for the next chicane. That should be a fairly straightforward move then. The Haas driver up into second place, and Gelato able to take advantage of a compromise line from the AlphaTauri. That's 2 places lost in 2 corners. Gelato now up into second. It was a short lasted second place though. He ran wide into the first Lesmo. That allowed Jonathan Cox to fight back. They've both got DRS on the way out, but I don't think Jonathan's got a lot of ERS, if I'm being perfectly honest, so Gelato might be able to have a chance here. No, he just backs off, and KRC dropping back from Droftahs as well. All that battling has allowed Paulie Orange to already get a 1 second lead on these guys, and if he's outside of DRS range, that is going to be absolutely crucial for him. See, on the back of Ferg, on the run down towards Ascari, straight forward, down the inside with the DRS. In the end, Ferg has to give up. Not the best line though from Crooksy there, and that's allowed Noble to get himself involved in this battle. Could he get 2 cars in one go here? Fantastic opportunistic driving from the McLaren. Round the outside of 1, down into Parabolica, takes 10th position, but Ferg's going to have the DRS this time around. I don't think he's going to need the DRS because Noble's made a slight mistake there. And even with that DRS, that is going to allow Ferg to take 10th place, although Crooksy, of course, is now coming back forward, so he might be able to get 2 cars in one go here. Only battling for the final point at the moment is not allowing them to catch up to those ahead who are potentially on slower tyres at this moment in time. But it's absolutely great to see as they're now going side by side from Curva Grande here. Who's going to be able to yayo? Ferg is on the racing line, but he's not got enough of his car alongside to really try anything on the brakes, and Crooksy gets that 10th position back after all that battling. Pretty much how they started the lap before. Makes his way past Fatality. Fatality's able to get the move done back once again. And here you've got Aylhan trying to work his way past as well. Looks like we're going 3 wide on lap 19 down towards the first chicane here. Mars just ahead of the Ferrari. Aylhan not able to get himself alongside. Fatality fighting back though on Mars at the moment, who's had a compromised line, and that might allow Aylhan to just try and sneak his Haas underneath the rear wing. Aylhan nearly losing his front wing in all of that. He's had to have a big lift off the throttle, and now Etheridge is going to try and go all the way around the outside of him into Curva Grande to get the inside for the Rogier chicane. And this could see Etheridge getting up into 10th. In the end though, he has to back out. Energetic 6 has come into the pits to put the soft tyres on. Possible run at the fastest lap. It is worth it. You don't have to finish in the top 10 to get that fastest lap point. You just have to finish the race, so definitely worth going for. I said we'd see a lot of penalties as Andenj picks up another one, and chaos of Nathan, so I don't see how Jonathan Cox and Nathan would have come together. We'll have to see if the drivers shed any light on that after this race. And you can see Crooks has just got so much more speed at the moment. This should be a fairly straightforward pass down the inside at the hairpin. And there we go, 6th position then for the Racing Point. A straight drag race between the two of them now. KRC's got the straight line speed. Can he get the car stopped in time? He's going to run wide, force Cruxy wide ever so slightly. Ollie with a fantastic view of this battle at the moment for 6th and 7th place. And he's thinking, you know what, I might just fancy getting involved in this. I might fancy sneaking my way up the inside of the Red Bull with a great opportunistic move down the inside into turn 18. And that is Ole up into 7th. And you have a feeling that it's not going to be long before we do see KRC coming into the pitch. The Orange gets it done in the DRS zone. And now Energetic 6 down the inside of Gods as well. Droftahs just hanging back to try and take advantage if an opportunity presents itself here. He's not really had things go the way he'd have wanted there. He's just going to have to stay behind Gods for a bit longer, and this could cost him dearly because it's clear that Gods has got no pace at the moment on 14 lap old hard tyres. Droftahs can't send one down the inside. Gods is going to have DRS, of course, down this straight, as is the as is the Mercedes, and Gods has got the ERS and he's just able to hold on to that 6th position for now. Paulie Orange is just escaping up the road from this battle. He's 1.3 ahead of Energetic 6. Now Droftahs has got the move done down the inside, earns himself another penalty doing so. Didn't work out as ideal as he'd have wanted, raining as heavy as it was at one bit under the safety car, but Noble is far enough ahead to just hold on to that position. Does so, pick himself up another penalty, so he's clearly having to push hard as the other Red Bulls made a very slight mistake. KRC's left the door open through the inside at turn 3, and Farhad will gratefully receive that 9th position. KRC still hanging on though on the inside. Can he go late enough on the brakes? Is there going to be any contact? Somehow there isn't. Fantastic driving, and Farhad gets himself back, well, up into 9th position. Fatality his next target, though he doesn't need to pass him on track. All of a sudden does the Williams driver, because he could have a Renault and a McLaren, that both of which we know, as we've seen at various times this season, both of which we know are extremely fast. They could be really putting some pressure on at the moment, as we've got a real big battle going on here for what is effectively the net lead of this race. Harvey Lees has dived it down the inside of Immortal, and that was crucial because he needs to defend from Total P's at this moment in time. He was going for it before we even get anywhere near turn 12, using his ERS, using his power of the DRS. And that is Total P's into 6th position, but the leader of those that are pitted at the moment, and just look at the extra grip he has got on those soft tyres relative to some of those around him. Ole and Denge battling tooth and nail for 10th and 11th, with Blaze and Ferg behind them. The McLaren has managed to get ahead, as here comes Denge sending one down the inside there at turn 15. I think he nearly hit Energetic 6 in all of that, and earns himself a time penalty as well. So not as clean a move as the Williams driver would have wanted. And all of a sudden, Ole's trying to go round the outside here at turn 19. That's not going to work, and he needs to be careful because the McLaren's going to pop his nose in. All of a sudden, down the inside goes the McLaren. And he is now up into 11th place. Although not for long. Well, he is in 11th because of the pit stops, although very nearly then lost that completely. They're both running on low on ERS here as he goes down the inside on Ole. Goes into 10th position. Back into the points for the McLaren driver. I'm sure he's feeling pretty aggrieved over all that pit stop. Power of Blaze on Cruxy. Cruxy goes defensive ever so slightly, but Blaze with the momentum is just going to sweep past and gets the position done. Jonathan Cox and Harvey Lees then battling hard. This could be something to watch. Down the inside goes Harvey. There's all sorts of contact. With Total Peace trying to go all the way around the outside of his teammate there, and Jonathan Cox has had a huge slide in all of this. There's no real team orders here between Jonathan Cox and Total Peace. They are still both in with a chance of winning the championship, but you'd imagine Jonathan Cox is thinking, I'm the championship leader, just give me some space, man. I'm the one most likely to win the championship between the two of us. But Pease is fighting hard for that position, and you can see, well, he's by far the faster car at this moment in time. He's tucking right underneath his teammate. I think Jonathan Cox, I don't know if he's going very defensive to the inside there, or he was thinking about lifting off to help his teammate through. It looks like he's gone very defensive. Total Pizza with the cutback. This could get very tasty on the exit, and in the end there's nothing our championship leader can do. So that is Total Pizza up into third towards turn 12. I don't think he's quite going to be close enough all of a sudden to go for the move. Is he down the inside? No, he is not. Gods and Mars pretty spread out as well, although Gods has absolutely sent one over the curb there. I'm not sure if he meant to do that or if he just locked the tyres up and thought that was the best course of action. These two Mercedes are still battling. Let's not make any contact. at this late part of the race. I don't imagine we'd get a virtual safety car yet. You never know, if there's a retirement ahead of them, there could be points on for one of these drivers, so they need to keep it fairly clean, as the rain is absolutely bucketing it down at the moment. But still, there is a dry line on the circuit. Still, there's not any standing water. You've got to say, it's intermediates all the way to the end, and you wouldn't gain enough if you changed tyres anyway. There's still a bit of bump in between these two. All of a sudden, they're coming on to lap 26 of the race, with the race leaders pretty much into sector 3 now of lap 26. Immortal goes defensive. Farhad thinks about a move all the way outside on the brakes. This is brave enough in the dry conditions, never mind in the wet. Can you get the cutback? Can you get the traction down? We're going to try side by side once again. I think on that bit of a wetter line, Farhad just has to give up. So he is now staying in 12th place, and God's nearly taking advantage of all that. This is a cracking battle right down at the back of the field. Mars lucky to avoid any damage to his front wing and all of that, I've got to say. He's in 14th place. Just shows you there's no points on at the moment, just pride, but they are fighting to time. Paulie Orange, though, is not thinking one bit about slowing down. He is just thinking attack, attack, attack here. Blaze not choosing not to use his DRS at the moment. The Haas driver goes to the outside. He should have enough of an overlap to get this done before we really get into turn 1. Round the outside he goes on those soft tyres. And that is Paulie Orange into the lead of this race. He now needs to try and break away from Blaze as much as he can on this lap. He hasn't got a lot of ERS in that Haas. And that's just going to make it that little bit more difficult. And Denge down the inside. He caught that just in time. Down the inside he goes on Gods. And Aylhan trying to get himself involved in this. He's gone round the outside of the Alfa Romeo, who's finding himself sort of being ambushed at the moment because he's got Jonathan Cox trying to make this move as well. So God's losing 3 places in the space of 4 corners there. Not ideal whatsoever. And the 2 VIL boys are battling it out. Energetic 6 and NUF1 have just pushed it to the right, and Den's trying to get involved in this. Aylhan chucking a nose up the inside out of absolutely nowhere. He's got that position. He's got a much better exit than Energetic 6. He's gained about 3 places in the space of 1.5 sectors there as Aylhan. Fantastic way, saving his way through the field. We say normally he's a driver that just makes up places on penalties. He's doing more than that at this moment. NUF1 briefly going into AI there as Jonathan Cox was followed through on all those cars. Being on these soft tyres for this second stint seems to give you so much more pace in the overtaking stakes at this moment in time. Whether they'll cost them at the end of the race if they have to go on to, well, for those that started on the softs like Ole, Gods and Paulie Orange, they will have to go onto a set of the mediums. Whether these drivers will have to go onto the mediums, whether some around them go on the softs, I'm not quite sure. So they're both passing NUF1 here. Is Jonathan Cox going to try and work his way around the outside of the Haas of Aylhan, all the way around the outside of turn 1? They're still side by side. The Alpha Tauri just has the pace though to get that move done. And Jonathan Cox back up into 5th place. That was crucial for him as he tries to make do for those penalties. God's battling here with Energetic 6, who's doing a very good run on those medium tyres. 16 laps suggests he's definitely going soft towards the end of this race. So this is good news for all those that need to use the mediums again. That we can definitely see medium soft here at the moment being the chosen strategy. The softs are lasting pretty well in these overcast conditions. Not as hot, of course, as it would be in the full sunshine of the official late race time in the evening here at the dusk at late night racing. We've now got Cruxy trying to go down the inside for the final point. Energetic 6 and Gods are still battling it out here. That Renault driver not giving up. He's not entitled to either. You can't really blame him for this. I think, though, he'll be wanting to head into the pit soon. So might be wanting Cruxy to just get out of the way. Wouldn't surprise me if he wanted to come into the pits there and just found his gap all of a sudden filled up. We are seeing Farhad go into the hard tyres. Now, that's not something we've talked about much. Is that possibility of a one-stop strategy? Energetic 6 might be going for it as well, and Denge trying to get himself ahead of the Renault driver. Cruxy and Gods are still battling tooth and nail up ahead, and that is the racing point on the slightly fresher tyres coming out on top. And all this battling, you can see it's allowed NUF1, Aylhan, Jonathan Cox to just streak away at this moment in time. But talking of streaking away,
I think this is going to be an easy overtaking for turn 1, and it looks like Damien fancies a bit of it as well.
Yeah, Damien's been
far behind.
Yeah, Damien's been fantastic all race. A bit of a revelation, really, after starting from the back of the grid. Peace is up into the lead. Blaze is second. Damien's not hanging around here. He's trying to go round the outside at the second part of the centre S, not able to do so, but he should have so much more grip off the corner than the Alfa Romeo. Rotation surely. He's going to have to go defensive here if he wants to hang on to that third position. Damien perhaps deciding it's not the easiest place to overtake it to turn 4. Perhaps deciding to just wait a bit longer, but that might drop him back a bit further. Surely he's not going to try and go around the outside at the Ferraggiore. He's still alongside Rotation here. If he can hold this off, this would be a fantastic move. Just not able to do so, but he might have a chance of getting the cutback. If Aylhan's sensible, he just needs to hand back and wait for this to play itself out.
Yeah, obviously the perfect scenario for Aylhan is a collision between these two, then he's made up 2 positions nice and easy. Damien was in with a real chance of winning this race, but even just in the 1 lap being stuck behind Rotation, he's already almost 2 seconds behind Blaze already. So Pease and Blaze, they've gone.
Yeah, I think out on track it is pretty much a 1-horse race now. So Rotation has backed off the throttle quite severely there. He's tried something different. I can't really blame him. DRS has been enabled. We've got some big battling going on here. Aylhan might be able to work his way past Damien, who I think's used all of his ERS in all of this. Damien holds on then. Aylhan now 4th. Jonathan Cox right behind his championship rival. He's got nothing to lose. He's really in a situation now where he's just got to try and send it. Aylhan all the way around the outside into Tessino Del Lago. Gets up into 3rd place. That could be crucial. Jonathan Cox unable to follow through as well. Rotation stays in 6th. Jesse, Farhad, Ole looks as though he's done enough to hold it out on track. And yeah, Jesse has got a run on Aylhan here. Is he going to be able to dive it down the inside of the Haas driver? Aylhan does not want to get involved in anything that could possibly cause a retirement. And I think Jesse knew that. He knew he could just send it because Aylhan's going to dive out the way.
Yeah, both Jonathan and Jesse, 9 seconds of penalties, Aylhan only with 3, so it wasn't Aylhan's fight. He can just follow these 2 home and still jump them on penalties.
Yeah, according to Orange, Aylhan's actually got a full dry setup, but his wings have suited the wet, so I imagine he's just put a bit more downforce on this car. Maybe that's why Jesse was able to catch up and Aylhan's maybe not been able to do a good job in the DRS as some of the other drivers. And here's 2 drivers that have really, you've got to say, done a fantastic job in this race and pretty much in all the races we have seen them in throughout this season. It is going to be another victory out on track for Toto Pease, but those 9 seconds of penalties are just going to cost him as he rounds the final corner past the pit lane entry. The Alpha Tauri of Toto Pease takes the checkered flag first, but it is Blaze who takes the victory in the final race of the season. Damien is going to get promoted up into 2nd place, and Aylhan crosses the line to win the inaugural Late Night Racing Championship. Supreme consistency throughout the season and a well-deserved victor.
Yeah, I think over the course of the 22 races, he was Mr. Consistent. More podiums than any other driver, and I think on merit he does deserve to take the crown. But that's not to say it wasn't a very good effort from Jonathan as well. I think both guys should give themselves a pat on the back, but congratulations to Aylhan.
Yeah, congratulations to Aylhan. There's many moments that he could have saved, swung the season, perhaps. Of course, last week for Jonathan, he admitted just made a mistake coming out of turn 8 and 9 at Abu Dhabi into the wall. Who knows how many points he could have got there? Who knows whether it would have made the difference in the end? Jesse comes home in 6th. Farhad, in the end, couldn't gain on penalties, but still a good performance and one of his best of the season to get 7th. Fatality and Etheridge with the final 9 finishes. So many retirements in that race. We knew Brazil would deliver something good. Damien gets driver of the day. I can't really argue with that. Fantastic performance in the first stint. Brazil always delivers a good championship battle, let's be honest. Neither of the title contenders finished on the podium. Blaze, Damien and Total Pease get the podium. Aylhan with the championship. What a fitting finale.
What a fitting finale indeed.